Now that 2025's big summer movie season has come to an end, it's time to start looking forward to the holiday season's most anticipated releases, and few films have garnered more excitement than Wicked, for good. The sequel to last year's juggernaut Wicked and the adaptation of the stage musical's second act, the film is set to challenge Elphaba and Glinda like never before as the Wicked timeline collides with The Wizard of Oz. However, there has been an interesting speculation among moviegoers as of late when it comes to the connection between Wicked and the beloved film. Sure, there would be no Wicked without the 1939 adaptation, and given the audience's curiosity regarding who is playing Dorothy, as well as the trailer's reveal of some of Oz's most famous players, an idea has begun circulating that the movie is either going to tie directly into the original movie or will even recreate sequences from it. Luckily, Collider is here to set the record straight and hopefully explain some of the confusing details. Before the release of Wicked, we covered the nuances that distinguished the Broadway musical from the 1939 Wizard of Oz. The differences become even more complex when it comes to the world of the Wicked movies, however. Like the stage musical, the first movie heavily leans into the aesthetic of the original picture, and the trailer for Wicked, For Good has already promised to lean more into the mythology of Dorothy's story than the musical does. Director John M. Chu spoke about the upcoming connection in an interview with Empire. "I love that people get to see the full master plan and the full scope of what Cynthia and Ariana do in this movie," Chu said. "I'm so happy they were appreciated in the first one, but movie 2 is where the meat comes out." He certainly has a point. As the timelines intersect, Wicked, For Good, like the stage show, is expected to be darker and delve deeper into the psyche of the characters and the consequences that arise once Dorothy enters Oz. However, the excitement surrounding the involvement of the original characters and the actual Wizard of Oz film is rather overhyped. Despite its extended runtime and the additional scenes added, Wicked, For Good won't tie in to the 1939 continuity, nor will it directly recreate scenes from the picture. There are a number of reasons for this. For one, the Wizard of Oz film, which is currently owned by Warner Brothers, has a number of distinctions attached to its copyright, which is why the film has eliminated the ruby slippers and has replaced them with shoes that closely resemble L. Frank Baum's original creation. However, this doesn't necessarily mean viewers should expect Wicked, For Good to recreate the classic piece of literature. As we previously mentioned, Wicked has always borrowed aesthetics from the 1939 movie, specifically in its portrayal of the witches, who mirror the cinematic versions of the characters, but not the literary ones. And it's those characters who remain at the heart of the film. Though audiences can expect to see plenty of Wizard of Oz lore in Wicked, For Good, it's important to remember that this isn't Dorothy Gale's story. It is still first and foremost focused on the famous witches of Oz. Yes, the events of the classic directly influence the next stage of their journey, but adding too much Wizard of Oz content to the film would be rather disastrous storytelling-wise. Wicked, For Good also has the additional tasks of expanding Nessaros's arc, as well as those of Fiyero and Boq. So while there will be references and sequences to look forward to, it's more logical for audiences to expect an original take that conveys the idea of the Wizard of Oz rather than one that retells the story.